Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Gootz Cast. It's for Memorial Day. It's the 25th of May. I am here with Andrew Lee. Andrew Lee, happy Memorial Day.
Happy Memorial Day. Thank you to all the people who served in our for our country and all over the world, I should say, because there's veterans all over the world. And it's not Veterans Day. I don't know why I'm saying that.
Well, I mean, it's still Memorial Day.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
did fight at some point to be veterans.
I always love the video packages that WWE does for like Memorial Day and Martin Luther King
Mhm.
Day and stuff like that. It's very classy. I like that they do stuff like that. So that's how we start off the show. That's always good. This time I did not think it was for Shad, like I did on
Oh,
SmackDown.
somebody said, you think they're going to show a video of Shad? Because WWE said they're going to do a special tribute. And I was
Yeah,
like, dude,
because
no, I think that the fact that they showed his graphic 3 days in a row, NXT, Raw, and SmackDown,
mhm.
that's like them thinking they went above and beyond. Well, we showed
Yeah,
his
they're done
graphic.
now.
Yeah.
They're done now. See, did reread. I did see it again where Triple H says, like, like I would expect something a little more from SmackDown. He did right. He did say that after NXT. That's why I was expecting a video,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just like the same fucking graphic, you know.
There's no
But
video.
this was a very interesting Raw. Should we get right into it?
Yeah, I just want to say one thing though. Listen, we are not
Absolutely.
negative people. If you want a wrestling reviews where someone pretends like they just watched a child get raped, like some of these fucking nerds on here, we're not like that. If something sucks, we're gonna say it. But if something's good, we're gonna call it. We're not fucking. But
Yeah.
let me just say something. A lot of these guys who are now that I watch these shows full time because my comedy career is over. Uh, I think they're negative just to be negative. So if you don't watch the show, you just rely on these reviewers. They're working a gimmick because a lot of this shit is bad. Don't get me wrong, but not everything is that fucking bad. It's not the worst fucking shit in the world. So if you think that, you have not seen. I don't. You're blessed because you've had a charmed life. You think some of this shit is the worst shit in the world.
Wow, I wish you didn't say that because I'm gonna be super negative today.
Okay.
Yeah, this was not a fun one. Um, but anyway, we
Maybe it was
start
more.
off.
Maybe it didn't affect me as much because I had something else fucking ringing in
There
my
were some
fucking
fun
ears.
parts to it, but we'll break it down.
Never mind.
Starts off, they have an audience now. Looks like someone finally watched an episode of Dynamite. And he was like, "We're gonna do the same thing."
Can
Um,
I tell you this didn't help the show? It hurt it. I'll tell you why. They didn't have chairs, and I was fucking distracted by that the
yeah,
entire
nothing. That's how you keep the coronavirus away. You can't sit down. That's the point. By the way, so they have all the NXT talent, well, all the jobber talent or new talent from NXT sitting around, not sitting, I'm
Not
sorry,
sitting, standing with
standing
no
in,
seats,
yeah, but they're all spaced out, and there's like the hockey glass, like the plexiglass,
separating.
separating the ramp and the ring from the audience.
Mhm.
And here's another thing to differentiate themselves from Dynamite: the Raw commentators are back at ringside because in AEW Dynamite they're up on the
Yeah.
stage,
Mhm.
which is where Raw commentators usually are, but they moved them to make it seem like they were very different. It's interesting. We had a whole bunch of NXT talent we haven't seen in a long time in the audience. They showed The Rock's daughter Simone. Did you see that? This is her first appearance on any
Oh no, I
WWE
didn't realize that
TV.
was his daughter. Okay, well,
Yeah, they showed his daughter. We
yeah.
had Shotzi Blackheart standing in the front. We got Malcolm Bivin in the audience. No Indian AOP, but we got Malcolm Bivin. We had Big Boa, the Chinese superstar. Zaya Lee is there. Dio Madden made his return to Raw. He used to be a Raw commentator. He's back. He
No,
was
he's just
there.
in the crowd. Okay.
Yeah, he's in the audience. You know who was there? That was really surprising, and he even did a little run at the end. Eric Bugenhagen. Remember him? Eric Bugenhagen?
Yeah, I remember him. Yeah.
He did one episode of NXT where he like came and did a job, I think. But he had the best intro ever where he came and he's like an 80s gimmick and he like air guitared his entire entrance. And he, I have never seen somebody get such a big following from just one match like that. This guy, there's people who are fans of him, including myself, and then he left he got like injured and he just quit for like 6 months, and then somehow he's back now. I think he's got a name change, but he was here tonight. So it's really interesting. I like that you're like, it's kind of like a who's who of the audience. Did you like that?
I like the glass. The glass is a cool setup.
Mhm.
I don't like the fact they don't have seats. I think that took me out of it a lot because I just feel so bad for these motherfuckers that they have to stand for
Stanford
3 hours.
more than 3 hours, probably more than 3 hours.
Probably more because like they probably redid some spots because now you
Yeah.
can.
Hmm.
And that to me is like I don't know if I would. Can I be real with you? I don't know. Like I'm all about training and shit. I don't know if I would stay if that was like my job now. Every week I have to stand. I can't fucking sit. Like I think sitting is fine. It makes it more exciting when they, like let's say when there's a big move, if the crowd jumps up from their seats. If they're just standing, I'm like these poor motherfuckers. I feel really bad for you guys. It's distracting. It's not doesn't help.
Here's another thing too. I think in when they were going head to head, when they were first going to start going head to head with AEW,
Mm-hmm.
WB was like, "This is NXT is not a third brand. It's 100% the third brand, right?" And it's like a main roster. But I think now that they're consistently losing to AEW, I think in WWE's mind, they demoted NXT back down to the minor leagues. You
Yeah,
know
I
that?
think you're right. Yeah.
Because tonight was 100% an example of how they are definitely a feeder group. It's not anywhere on the same level as Raw and SmackDown. It is. But it's fine. It happens. Hey, they've been losing to AEW. I get it. You don't want to say that that's your, if you say that it's part of the main roster, then you are saying your main roster is losing to the competition. If you
Mm-hmm.
keep them as, oh, well, this is our minor league, this is where our feeder is, it's not, it lessens the blow. So I get why they're doing that. It really feels that way. Anyway, the show starts off with the KO show, Kevin Owens show, and he's got Asuka in there, and Asuka's doing her gibberish, and then gibberish,
That's
man.
racist.
Yeah, Charlotte comes out. By the way, Kevin Owens was great in this. He was
actually good.
He was letting them shine, but he was putting in one quick funny lines each. When Charlotte came into the ring, she's wearing her boa. He goes, "You lost a feather," and he gives her a piece of feather from her boa. So Charlotte's in there, she gets like one line of speaking, and then before she gets interrupted with Natalia, and Natalia comes to the ring. Kevin Owens is taking everything out of the ring because she destroyed his set last week. And then Natalia apologizes to Kevin Owens and his crew for destroying the set. And then Nia Jax comes out and he leaves. Kevin Owens leaves, and all 4 women fight because they're going to have a 3-way match tonight to challenge Asuka. What do you think about this opening segment?
I liked it until Charlotte came out to talk, and I was like, oh god, more fucking talking. But Charlotte, she has nothing to add, and they still have her fucking talking. But I liked it. I like Kevin Owens' little things.
This was not a bad way to start the show. Now, I know why they start shows with a talking segment, because many, many years ago, probably over a decade ago, talking segments starting a show used to get higher ratings, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's been like over a decade since it's been like that. You need to change up the formula. You can't be starting with a talking segment anymore. I really don't think you should be doing this.
Well, I mean, like, with these idiots are gonna have a long match later anyway, so it's like, why the fuck do I gotta hear you? And it's just Charlotte saying the same nonsense that she's been saying for like fucking weeks. It's just I don't know.
I think you should start off hot, like start off with like a really hot contested match, which was actually our first match coming up. Before this, it's going to be Andrade versus Apollo Crews for the U.S. title. Before this match, Kayla is interviewing Apollo. Apollo gives a meaningless promo. This match happens. What do you call it? Andrade hits that fantastic back elbow. I think we go to a commercial break. Actually, I don't remember if you're doing that. But there's this great moment. The ending comes.
Yeah, they did picture in picture.
They did, right? Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Zelina comes up on stage, up on the apron, and due to some kind of miscue, Andrade hits her off the apron. and she's down, and they do picture in picture while she's on the floor. The whole time, the picture in pictures about her, people attending to her, which I thought this was great because if you're gonna do picture in picture, you gotta do it like during segments like this where we don't need to know what's going on really. We don't need to hear what's going on. We come back, and Apollo Crews hits his gorilla press slam, and then he hits a standing moonsault and then a standing shooting star press, and then he wins the U.S. title. I knew he was gonna win, like you could feel it happening, but they kept going like this could be his first, singles title, first title. But I did not expect it to be with that finish because that's not his finisher. But whatever. What are you eating, Mike and Ike's?
Hot tamale? I'm eating hot tamales. You need a little bit of something.
Okay. What'd you think about this match?
It was great. It was great. This fucking guy won. Finally, he won something. I think it should have happened weeks ago. But I know they had to fake an injury for some fucking reason.
Yeah.
I thought it was really good. I liked his promo afterwards. Yeah, I thought they were gonna have him lose. I didn't think he was gonna win. And when he won, I was like, okay, good. Finally, let's go somewhere with this guy.
It came out of nowhere too. The win came out of nowhere.
That's good though. Sometimes you need to do that.
Yeah. During this match, they showed Angel Garza watching it on the screen, and then they were interviewing him, and he had a sex talk where he compared wrestling to making love to a woman. I was just like, what the fuck is this guy talking
I think that was a JD from New York reference.
Oh, man. Oh, is that what it's from?
JD from New York, the thing that Alexa Bliss got mad, he goes, Alexa Bliss isn't that good of a wrestler. Can you imagine her in the bed? And that's what Alexa Bliss got mad about, and all the wrestlers dogpiled, including Hector Garza.
So do you think this was just a rib on that guy?
Yeah, I don't know why they're so centered on this fucking loser. You want to be centered on someone? Center on us, okay? We're celebrities.
Yeah. They give after this match, they give like a Apollo Crews promo where he talks about how like people didn't believe in me, but this is just only the beginning. And then they show Andrade throwing a tantrum in the back. Then they show Seth Rollins looking at a purple Rey Mysterio mask.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I felt like the way they were talking about it was like, this is the mask that he ripped off from Rey last week after he stuck his eye into the corner. Did you think this?
I thought that for a second, then I remembered it was a different color.
Yeah, then they showed the recap, and the recap is Rey wearing a black mask. And I'm like, oh, he's just holding a random Rey Mysterio mask then. It would have been way more meaningful if it was the mask from that, but whatever. It's a random Rey Mysterio mask. He announces, he introduces his new stable of Austin Theory and Murphy, and they announce they're going to have a match later on tonight, a tag team match. How long before Austin Theory is just known as Theory?
That's going to be stupid. They got to call him Austin Theory.
Yeah.
If they call him Theory, that would be so fucking weird.
Yeah. Apollo Crews is he Apollo Crews, or did he get his last name back?
Yeah. I remember the announcer saying it a bunch of times.
Yeah. Then they do a Charlotte interview. They asked her, hey, Charlotte, if you win tonight and you challenge Asuka, you have the opportunity to be a double champion because she's NXT champion right now. You know what I was thinking about this the whole time? I was like, she had a champion versus champion match a couple of days ago on SmackDown where it was Raw Women's Champion versus SmackDown Women's Champion.
No, it was NXT champion versus SmackDown champion.
Oh, NXT champion versus SmackDown champion.
But it wasn't for the belt.
I know it wasn't, but that's so fucking dumb.
Everything with Charlotte right now is fucking dumb. Everything across the board. She is probably the worst written character on the show right now.
How come on SmackDown none of the titles were on the line, but now titles can be on the line of this one? It doesn't make any sense to me.
This is a match for the number one contendership. That was just the exhibition, I guess, with her and Bayley. I don't know. It's stupid. She shouldn't be on this many shows. She should be on NXT, and that's fucking it.
Yeah. This is. I mean, I just felt like it was stupid. It was like that just reconfirms in my mind that last week's SmackDown is just like a completely forgettable show. It's just completely forgettable. There's no point in that. Champion.
It's not the worst fucking thing you ever saw. Like all these fucking YouTubers. That's the worst. God, I could kill myself. I watched SmackDown.
then they get the Iconics in a in-ring promo, and then Alexa Bliss, Nikki Cross come out. And by the way, let me ask you a question. Isn't the women's tag team title supposed to be defended on all brands?
Yes, well, Alexa Bliss, Nikki Cross are SmackDown superstars, so that's why they're going. Because they have the belts, they can show up on Raw.
Do you think they're ever going to show up on NXT? They did when Asuka and Kyrie were champions.
I mean, I would have them show up, but who are they going to fight? Who's like don't all the women hate each other now?
What?
No, none of the women have an allegiance on NXT, so who would they fight?
I don't know, two randos.
So,
I mean,
yeah.
But I guess you wouldn't, because it's unless if you really
they should show up on 205 Live and fight Danny Burch and Oni Baloney.
If they considered it like a main roster, then they would. But if they consider it in the minor league, they might not. But
I mean, but no, it's still the rules apply. They can also show up at NXT UK. They can show up at any brand, the champion.
Yeah.
Maybe they could fight Piper and Tony Storm. I mean, when that comes back, they could fight those two.
Yeah, that would be good. So what do you call it? The Iconics are making fun of Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, and they like Billie Kay is going pretty hard on Nikki Cross, telling her, "Don't say anything, just stand there," and then makes Nikki Cross cut a pretty good promo about like how she had to struggle. But the whole time I'm just thinking, like, dude, we're gonna watch these guys wrestle again. It's like 3 weeks in a row. They end up not fighting. They end up not wrestling, but fighting. The promos end up being like a fight, and then like the Iconics get the upper hand. But that means we're gonna see them wrestle again. I'm like, this is why I can't stand sometimes watching these shows, because it's like you can miss a week and you miss nothing because they're gonna repeat the same shit the following week. You know?
Oh yeah, if you missed last week, you didn't miss anything with the Iconics.
No. And if you missed the week before that, you still didn't miss anything, because it's still the same feud, still the same. It's like nothing changes, man. It's not must-see TV, because if you missed it, that's okay. It makes up for it. But what did you think about any of these promos? The Seth Rollins promo, the Iconics.
Seth and Charlotte, same shit, different day. Iconics also kind of same shit, different day, but at least Nikki Cross got to talk a little bit more, which is nice.
Yeah.
But you know what? If you told me that both Charlotte and Seth Rollins got their vocal cords damaged, I wouldn't give a shit. I'd be like, okay, Seth Rollins. If Seth Rollins became a character that was a mute, he would be 100% of a better wrestler. His fucking promos are they're just the pits at this point.
I would like it if Seth Rollins became like an updated, like a revised evil version of, like a dark version of, you know, that WWF character Phantasmo, or like Fantasia, or like the guy who would like, he had the mime face.
Yeah, he only had wrestled twice.
Yeah, but like they own the rights to that character.
So you want him to become a mime?
Yeah, like
okay, Seth that Rollins actually would be an improvement.
Like a dark mime.
I can't listen to this fucking guy talk anymore. Make him a fucking mime.
That would be great, though, wouldn't it? I think he could pull it off.
I think anything that doesn't involve him speaking is a win. He's good in the ring.
He is good. He's a good wrestler.
But but then he talks, and you're like, just fucking go away.
Come on. Talking is not his forte.
No, but that's like, it'd be one thing if, like, I don't know, you cut a promo once a month, right? But since 2015, this motherfucker has been talking for 40 minutes every week. And now it's just, oh my God, this guy is just not good. Like, not every wrestler is The Rock. The worst thing and the best thing to happen to wrestling were Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock. Because Stone Cold can cut a 40-minute promo on, like, Austin Theory. And you would want to see that match. Same thing with Rock. But nobody else can. So you've had John Cena and Triple H and now Seth Rollins just babble endlessly for saying nothing. And they keep doing it. I'm sure, when they fucking decide to push somebody, when the crowds come back, they'll have Drew McIntyre in there giving his fucking HBO special every week.
Yeah. All right. So next we have is MVP and Lana and backstage, and MVP's like looking at his phone. Lana's like, "We need to talk." MVP's like, "No, we don't." and then they show, which I like. Then they show a Shad graphic, and then at 9 o'clock they have the MVP lounge where
The
MVP goes.
VIP lounge.
The VIP lounge.
Get
Sorry,
straight.
VIP
Get right.
lounge. And then he goes like, "This is the only VIP lounge is the only nightclub that's around now, but they're gonna come back soon." I'm thinking like, you do realize like a couple of weeks ago, South Korea opened up their one of the nightclubs, and then fucking the coronavirus just shot right back up because somebody who was infected went there.
By the way, did you notice at the AEW video package that like they said as the world comes back to normal, like the video package, the start of Double or Nothing was basically like Corona's over. Like Cody, Tony Khan, and Vince have decided that Corona's they've come together. Yeah, it's over. I like how people, my friend Beth, who's a nurse, she said the hospital now is busier now than it was in March and April. There's more patients coming in with Corona. I like though how AEW and WWE have just decided that this is over. They don't have any medical expertise. Cody Rhodes just decided that this is over. We're done. And same with Vince and the wrestlers. Like they were all. I don't know if you saw the AEW Memorial Day party where they're all getting drunk with no face masks. Did you see that?
Yeah, I mean, hey, that's their lives, not mine.
Oh, man. But I love like they keep sneaking in these little things that tell the fans that Corona's behind us. It's like fucking, It's not, guys. It's not. And if you think like that, you know who's gonna die? Jim Ross. By God, I got Corona. Anyway.
Yeah, if you want to believe that stuff, go ahead. Zero
you
life.
Believe it's at your own risk, but I think
it's not my family. I don't really care,
dude. If this fucking goes south, it's the end of AEW and WWE. Yeah. I don't give a fuck.
Drew McIntyre is the guest on a VIP lounge. Mm-hmm. MVP did a great promo on this. I really liked it. I like how he brought up something that happened like around WrestleMania, right before WrestleMania. He was like, "Do you remember when I try to be your mentor and try to coach you, and you said no, and then you Claymore me in the face?" This was like way, way back. This is many. This is before we started doing this podcast.
Yeah. I think it was crowds were still around.
Yeah, and then he goes, I remember when I got kicked, I was like, man, this guy's gonna become a future champ. I thought two things: that, and number two, when he loses the title, I know I'm gonna be responsible for it. And I was like, damn, this was a good promo by MVP. Mm-hmm. Lashley comes out, but then MVP gets Claymore in the face. He keeps calling it Claymore kick. I like that. And Drew McIntyre was like, you don't have to say kick, it's just Claymore. Everybody knows what it is. And then MVP goes, like, that's irrelevant. And he makes sure to emphasize kick. He calls it Claymore kick.
Yeah, I like the chemistry between these two.
Yeah. This is really, I wish MVP was 10 years younger.
Yeah, MVP is a better promo now than he was 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm. But if he was 10 years younger and he could go in the ring, like he was like I think WWE should still take him seriously, but clearly because he's older, they're not going to take him seriously. But imagine if he could still, like, if he was just 10 years younger and he was cutting these kind of promos and he was wrestling, dude, he would be like, oh my gosh.
I think he's going to be like a dangerous Bobby Heenan type. Like he's going to be a manager, but he can also get involved if he has to.
Yeah, I know. But but I'm saying, like, I wish it was a little more than that. But unfortunately, this is what we're going to get. Yeah.
The good thing about his promos is he'll tie in. So he'll take something, they don't do this like Sheamus and Triple H could have an interaction in March. And if they meet each other again in like November, they treat it like it's the first time or something. They don't bring up whatever happened. But MVP, he'll weave in shit that happened in 2007 and like you said with Drew McIntyre earlier in the year and use it to build a story. So it's like, wow, then you feel rewarded for watching these shows every Monday. You don't just feel like a giant loser who's wasting their lives. Yeah. It's continuity, yeah.
Yeah. But no pun intended, MVP really was the MVP tonight because he was in a lot of segments tonight.
But he was good in all of them.
He was the thread for this entire show. Mm-hmm. He was connecting everybody the entire show way through. Then we get a Talia she's getting interviewed, and her phone rings during the middle of the interview, and she goes, "TJ, what?" She's talking about Tyson Kidd, and he's like, "What, TJ? No, I said I was sorry. I gotta go. I'm doing an interview." She comes back. He's like, "Oh, the interview time is over." I don't know what the point of this was.
I think it's her life falling apart.
And they're probably building towards. I like that they're giving Natalya a storyline. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
I
She
hope she can
deserves.
deliver though, because whenever they turn her heel, she doesn't. She still like comes across like a really nice mom.
She last week she like flipped out and she destroyed a set,
But then it
right?
looked kind of corny. Yeah.
Yeah, and this week she did that. She missed her interview because
That
she
was
was
that
making
she
a
did that
phone
good.
call. Uh, I
I
mean,
thought she did good with that phone call.
I mean, yeah, I mean, if you like amateur acting, yes,
Well,
it's
I mean, like, look, I'm not gonna be like, oh, Natalia should win an Oscar, but if Natalia at this point, if Natalia can say sentences together, I give
Mhm.
her props. No, you're right. She's a horrible actress. I don't believe her when she's a bad guy,
Yeah,
but I believed her in this phone conversation.
yeah. I mean, I'm just glad she's getting a storyline. I'm actually looking forward to seeing where this is heading.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get match number 2, Kevin Owens versus Angel Garza. When Kevin Owens, while he's walking down the ramp, Angel Garza comes and does like a sliding a chop block,
Mm-hmm.
and so Kevin Owens is basically selling his left leg the entire rest of this match. Zelina Vega, by the way, during this match, I noticed she's getting like really long fucking fingernails. She's got like talons, man, like pink talons.
Mm-hmm.
They're huge. Kevin Owens is basically selling his leg the whole time. He can't hit certain moves. Angel Garza hits him with the wing clipper, which is easily probably like the shittiest finishing move. I mean, I like Angel Garza, but that move sucks.
Okay.
And Angel Garza wins. He beats Kevin Owens. What you think?
Good. Although I do question Kevin Owens defeats Seth Rollins. Big, they build this up for months and months and months. They beats him, vanishes, and is now losing to Angel Garza. And Seth Rollins is still in the same position he always was. I mean, it's like, well, what was the point of like, what is the point of this month and month? It would be it would be like, I'm trying. It would be like with Austin, like when he beat Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania, and then like he's still in the undercard, and Shawn is in the main events in '98. It's like, well, what's the point of giving Kevin Owens this big storyline that he overcame if he's just going to be now losing to like guys who just showed up? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I think.
He's probably
I
being
mean,
punished
this
because
is
Sami Zayn's his friend, and Sami Zayn is believes in the
probably.
virus.
I think this is just like the beginning of a feud. We're
Yeah,
probably
no,
gonna
it'll be
see
good. I'm
guys.
glad. I'm glad he got the win. I'm glad Angel Garza got the win. I can see a future with this kid. So
Yeah, we're probably gonna see Kevin Owens versus Angel Garza for the next 6 Raws. So,
and
get
then
ready.
also at
This is
Backlash.
one. Yeah, basically. Then we get a Viking Raiders Street Profits recap, and then they are now doing a golfing segment that turns into a mini golf segment. Because of this segment, I know that Raw is already the worst show this week. I don't need to, I don't need to watch any other shows. Raw is the worst show this whole week. It's this was fucking terrible. This was a fucking waste of time. It wasn't funny at all. The Viking Raiders are really stupid. They're just really stupid. They don't know what golf is. Like, how do you not know what golf is? Like,
How do you
are you
write
telling
someone
me?
this stupid in 2020? I mean,
Yeah,
we say that, but we have comedian friends that live in New York saying COVID is fake. So there are actually, I mean, so there might be people this stupid, but
these guys were
they
like,
have buried the Viking Raiders.
yeah. I mean, the Viking
It's
Raiders.
over.
So they come to a regular golf course,
Mm-hmm.
and they make Ivar, who used to be scary as Hansen, big man could do flying moves. He is basically Otis light. He is trying to be like Otis, where he's always hungry, always pulling out chicken legs out of nowhere. It's Otis light, basically. It's just replace
It's
ham
an
for chicken.
insult to Otis.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, the women always find him attractive, right? It's just like, come on, man. This is like, it's the same company. Same company, dudes.
Dude, I can't stress this enough. This tonight, I am over the Viking Raiders. They should be fired. It's over. Their
This
career is over because of this. It's
this segment. Yeah, go ahead.
3 weeks or 4 if you count like when they were in the car. 4 or 5 weeks in a row. This bullshit.
Yeah.
They're amazing wrestlers. They've done this. They are dead in the fucking water. They are over. They are over. They are worse than the Highlanders. It's done. It's done. You've
Do
killed these guys.
So Eric, the one who's ugly, according to these sketches, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Or this, he's married to Sarah Logan, who got fired.
Mhm.
Remember? Do you think when she got fired, he said something to them, and now
No, I
they're
just
getting,
think Vince sees them like the bushwhackers. That's what I'm getting from these segments. He thinks they're the bushwhackers. And he doesn't see them as who they really are, which are an amazing tag team and incredible athletes. And he wants them to become the bushwhackers. And he's gonna have his way, hell or high water. You
oh,
know, he backed up a little bit last year because I guess Heyman got involved and Twitter. But now people are kind of like, I don't really see that much backlash in social media. So I think like people are like, whatever, they're dead. It's over. They
I
should
feel like
they,
they're getting
they should
punished.
retire
Yeah,
or go to. If I was the Viking Raiders, I would literally go tomorrow and be like, we want to release. People would be like, oh, it's really good TV time. No, it's not. This is not good TV time. This is fucking horrendous. This is career-ending bullshit. These are some of the
yeah.
worst sketches in wrestling history. And if they have next week, they film a sketch like this, their careers are so dead. I feel like both guys are gonna have strokes midway through shooting and die because it's fucking over. It's over.
Yeah. Well, anyway, to another golf course, the Viking Raiders don't know what the fuck golf
Oh my
is,
god.
because when it's their turn to, I guess, fucking go, they just throw the golf clubs like it's a fucking spear.
Mm-hmm.
They cause so much of disturbance, they get kicked off, and they go to mini golf, where the Viking Raiders and Street Profits proceed to dance together, and they want to fight little gators. Man,
All
this
right,
is
let's move
awful.
on. You don't have to
Yeah,
recap
yeah.
this segment. What are you recapping? what are you, it's like you're recapping is like this is fucking a Michinoku Pro match. This is
Yeah.
fucking horrendous. The
Yeah.
only reason Street Profits, by the way, were saved, I'm not saying they're dead, is because they got redeemed by MVP later on the show.
Yeah.
So,
And what do you call it? This, by the way, don't watch Rob just because of this. Right?
fucking horrendous.
MVP, Lashley, and Lana. Lana does some more yelling. She's got so much fucking makeup on her face. It's like she's doing some kind of weird, like, blackface thing, and she's trying to do. She's getting like, oh, it looks really bad. Like, she's got so much tanner on.
Mm-hmm.
Then we get match number 3, which is Buddy Murphy and Austin Theory versus Aleister Black and Humberto Carrillo. There's this great move in the very beginning of this match where somebody launches Humberto Carrillo and he goes super high up, and then he comes down into an arm drag. I was like, that is fantastic. Humberto does a huge dive to the outside. Humberto's all over this match, but then he basically gets hit with the ATL by Austin Theory, and Murphy and Theory win. And then afterwards, they get Humberto, and they're about to like put his eye into the corner step, and then Aleister Black comes in with a chair, and then Seth Rollins basically, like cuts a promo like, "Stop, don't move, or I'm gonna do this to him too. I'm gonna sacrifice him," and whatever. The match was good.
It'd be funny if
Yeah.
he said that. Whatever, and then they just left.
Yeah.
Whatever.
The match was good. I like the match.
I like the match. I like the little angle. I don't. By the way, I don't think Rey Mysterio's retirement ceremony is actually going to be a retirement ceremony. I think he's going to challenge Seth Rollins to a match at Backlash.
Yes, 100%. And then after this match, we get Edge cutting the world's greatest promo for the world's greatest match ever. This was the greatest promo ever, right? Come on. The level of volume lets you know how serious he is about this. His eyes darting back and forth, right? Lets you know he's really contemplating what he's about to say. This was the world's greatest promo ever. And Edge and Randy Orton at Backlash will have the world's greatest match ever.
All Edge does is remind me. He's like the new Big Show, where he reminds me of how much time I've wasted in my life of watching this shit and not enjoying it half the time. Yeah, it's I can't. You got to give him. You know what? Fucking put him with Seth Rollins after Randy Orton. Get him with anyone else. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this Randy Orton feud. It's over. That's
It's
like
like
they
I
should have just
feel like
ended it at Mania. They should have just been like, okay, we got through that and let him move on to
I feel
AJ.
like this is a rib. Is this a rib?
The greatest
It's some-
wrestling match ever. These guys have never even. No, okay, can move on. I just, ugh.
all right. Asuka comes down for commentary for the next match,
Yes.
and then they go to commercial. And they come back, and the Viking Raiders and the Street Profits are gonna have a bowling challenge next week, and then so it's gonna continue, man.
It's
Gonna
continuing. I missed that. I think it was in the bathroom. It's continuing.
yeah, they're gonna have a bowling matchup next week, and then while the Street Profits are in the back, MVP and Lashley come over, and they go like, we don't deal with clowns. And he goes like, basically tell them the Street Profits are not being serious. Didn't the Street Profits go through this with Bianca Belair already?
Yeah,
Where Bianca Belair was like, you guys acting like fools. You guys be taken seriously, and then Bianca Belair disappears.
yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Enough of her bullshit.
But anyway, what ends up happening is they challenge MVP and Lashley to a match later. MVP goes, all right, you guys, we'll have a match. Just bring the smoke, which I thought MVP was good in this. Then we get match number 4, Charlotte versus Natalia versus Nia Jax for the number one contenders to face Asuka at Backlash, I believe. This was a good match. This was a very good match.
Very good. Very good.
Mm-hmm. There's this one moment, though, in the beginning where Charlotte's laying on the back in the ring, and Nia Jax basically slams Natalia on top of Charlotte, and that was a cover. It was 1, 2, 3. Ref never called it because like Nia Jax was just standing there, and you could see them like waiting for her to do something. Like she was.
Yeah, she probably forgot her place, like always.
There's a moment where basically they double team on Nia Jax, powerbomb her through the announce table.
That was good.
Yeah. What do you call it? They do the Tower of Doom spot, where they're trying to do the superplex off the top, and then Talia is the one power bombing while they're doing the superplex. Nia Jax, everyone, they're hitting finishers like the figure 8 and the sharpshooter, but basically when them happen, Nia Jax hits the Simone drop on Natalia and wins. Nia Jax is now facing Asuka, probably at Backlash. This was a very, very good match. I thought Charlotte is boring as fuck, but in the ring, her wrestling is actually very good.
In the ring, she's great. No, don't get me wrong. This was a great match. Her in-ring shit is not the problem. The problem is every week she comes out and cuts the same stupid fucking promo, and anyone who is this boring on the mic would, I would all hate them. If fucking Chris Benoit, before he killed his whole family, was an amazing wrestler. If he came out every week and cut a horribly boring long promo, I would hate him too. I would be like, this guy sucks. Why is he talking so much? But they never had him do that. So that's why we used to love him. I don't know. But she shouldn't be cutting promos. She should kill herself.
And also she shouldn't be on every show. I don't want to see her every week. How he said, I could watch AJ Styles on every show, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think Asuka I could watch on every show.
Yes, if Asuka was on every show, it'd be different because she's funny.
Mm-hmm.
She was so. That's the other thing too. She added a lot in this match because she was so funny on commentary. Her mannerisms. She was fucking dope. Yeah, no, this was a great match. People like to talk shit about Nia Jax. People really like to talk shit. And yeah, she can be dangerous. She hurt Kairi Sane a few weeks ago. I don't know. But she was really fucking good in this match too. I thought she held her own.
Yeah.
I thought it was a really good match.
Yeah, Natalia did great too.
Look, if Charlotte was on one show every week having matches like this, I'd have no problem. But the fact that she's on 3 shows cutting promos that fucking go nowhere, throw her off a cliff.
Yeah. Then we get Drew McIntyre. He's about to leave. He's got a new T-shirt. It says "Talk Less, Play More," and basically, one of the backstage girls goes, "Hey, Lashley's having a match later tonight," and he goes, "Oh, he is? Oh, that means I think I forgot something," and he goes back, kind of like foreshadowing that he's going to show up later. Then we get a 24/7 title recap of what has happened since WrestleMania, which is nothing. They R-Truth cuts a video promo where he talks about how he just found out that Tom Brady's not the one who has it. It's Gronky. And then they show Rob Gronkowski. He cuts a video promo where he starts, about the 24/7 title, and he does the same line R-Truth does about 24/7, 7-Eleven, I-95, whatever. I was like, all right. What'd you think about that?
I liked R-Truth. R-Truth's always funny, but Rob Gronkowski stinks. I think this is setting up for R-Truth getting the belt back from him pretty soon. And then, because they have to, because he's going to go play football again. He was supposed to retire, didn't. I think this is setting that up. So, in that respect, good. Let's get it off Rob Gronkowski, get it back on R-Truth, get it back on the show. Those sketches were funny. These sketches aren't. I mean, they weren't funny, but they were better than these fucking stupid Viking Raiders sketches. So,
yeah.
Sooner they get the belt off of Gronkowski, the sooner R-Truth can do some funny shit. So, I'm all for it.
Wasn't even the worst promo of the night, though.
Rob Gronkowski? No, it wasn't the worst part.
It wasn't. We're about to get into it.
That's the worst part.
Yeah, Lashley and MVP are showing it back, getting ready for their main event match tonight. Then they've been promising us Ric Flair. They showed us Ric Flair on a video promo where he is promoting the world's greatest match ever of Randy Orton versus Edge, and he picks Randy Orton to win the world's greatest match ever. This is an insult to Ric Flair. It's just Ric Flair
goes, Ric Flair talks about having these great wrestling matches like it's a gimmick, like he's had their Hell in a Cell matches. It's like, no, you've had great wrestling matches because you're a great wrestler. They're treating having great wrestling matches like it's a gimmick, which is weird to me. Shouldn't every match be a great wrestling match? No one's watching wrestling to see shitty wrestling matches. This was a weird promo, but I'm glad he was home in a video. AEW would have had him come into the ring, cut the promo, and then probably bleed all over fucking Cody Rhodes.
What are they trying to do with this?
With what?
Why do they keep calling it the world's greatest match ever? Why are they doing that? I don't know.
Maybe because they want Edge to quit. I don't know. It is nobody sits and goes, "Oh, the two greatest wrestlers ever, Randy Orton, Edge." You could probably, if Kurt Angle could still go and he wrestled Daniel Bryan, you could promote it like that. Or Brock Lesnar, Kurt Angle, you could promote it like that. It's just so weird to me.
I really feel like someone's getting shitted on right now because of this. It feels like
a rib on either Edge or Randy Orton.
Yeah, it feels like they had their match at WrestleMania, which wasn't that good, obviously. They got a lot of complaints. And I think one of them probably complained about it, well, we shouldn't have done it like that because I was just trying to have a really great wrestling match, and instead it came out like garbage. And then somebody heard that and was like, well, I'm going to put you in the greatest wrestling match ever because I feel like that's what's happening. And it's
but it's so weird because it's just setting these guys up for failure.
Yeah, you're setting
no matter how good the match is, people are going to be like, that was the greatest wrestling match ever.
Yeah, you're setting
including us probably.
You're really you're fucking with somebody by calling it this.
You're fucking with them so hard.
Dude, rib. This has to be I'm fucking gonna make you suffer for you complaining.
But it's but why would you do it to these two guys? I thought you liked these two guys. This is something you would do, or maybe they don't like these two guys. I don't know. It just why would you put them in this position?
Yeah. I think somebody complained, man. Oh,
the greatest match ever.
We go from somebody, Ric Flair, cutting, who's one of the best at promos, to somebody who's probably one of the worst at promos, Liv Morgan.
Oh, this fucking.
Oh my gosh, dude!
What are they doing to this poor girl?
There's a point. She's still trying to figure out who she is.
What does she do all week? Just sit confused, who am I?
There was this point in this promo where she goes, "There was a time when I was 6 years old, and I was trying to think, what is life?" And I was thinking, who the fuck thinks like that at 6 years old?
I do. Liv Morgan.
I did not. I had to listen to it twice because I thought I misheard her. I thought she said 16, which I get it if you're going to think about.
I thought she said 16.
No, she said 6. I have it on DVR. I listened to it twice. She said 6. And then she goes, and then
I found WWE.
I found WB and I got my own gear. I was like, you fucking tool. I was like, you know what? I was so mad that I had invested so much time watching Liv Morgan the past few weeks and commenting on our matches because I was
seeing
like,
how good she's getting.
this was like such a waste of my time. This was such a waste of my time to invest in her. Oh, it's pointless. This was pointless.
It was bad.
This made me hate her. This made me hate her.
Really?
Like,
I see. I still want to have sex with her, so I don't hate her.
I don't want to see her ever.
What if she
anymore.
wanted to have sex with you? Would you be like, no, that promo was really bad? I can't.
I'll be like, you promise you won't wrestle anymore?
But her wrestling's good. It's her promos.
I was like, I just
You
don't
had a
want to
good
see
match with Charlotte. You just want to go away. Like, all right.
No, because it just makes me feel like I'm watching an idiot wrestle.
But you know what? She's still better than the Viking Raiders.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That's the sad part.
This is her Viking Raiders sketch.
Okay, but you're like, it's over. Go away.
Yeah, it's like, God, it's over already. We get our main event for tonight. We get Street Profits versus MVP and Lashley. Montez Ford takes a really hard fall outside, and then fucking Lashley does that ring post smash thing he does, which always looks devastating. By the way, in this match, Angelo Dawkins really brought it. He's getting a little better. He did that awesome corkscrew elbow. Did you see that corkscrew elbow he did?
Yeah,
it was really good. This match ends in a DQ bullshit finish because Lashley, who was not the legal man, comes into the ring, hits a full Nelson on Montez Ford and won't let go. DQ finish. I guess technically Street Profits win, and he won't let go. So then then Drew McIntyre comes down to the ring, and Drew McIntyre and Lashley start fighting. The refs calling for more people to come down to help, more refs to come break it up, but there's no refs. And this is where you saw that NXT was a bunch of fucking jobbers and not anywhere near the fucking main roster. Since there's no refs coming down, he started getting, hey, NXT talent who's in the audience, you guys come to the ring and break it up. And they're just getting fucking jobbed one at a time. Just getting at the very, very end, they were able to hold them apart, but there was a point where each one of them just getting tossed out the fucking ring. I was like, this is good, because Drew McIntyre hit one fucking Glasgow kiss headbutt, and I was like, oh, it's great. We don't have to hear Byron's fucking Saxton say, give us a kiss. Oh, because he missed that spot. Nope, he fucking said it. I hate it when he says that line. It's
Vince
annoying.
is in his say the line.
Yeah, say the fucking line.
Say the fucking line.
What did you think?
I like the match. I like the show closing. Everything MVP has touched is turning to gold.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it a lot. I think there's going to be a twist in these. I think with this Viking Raider Street Profits story, one of the teams is going to turn heel and join up with MVP. It might be the Viking Raiders, only because it's kind of racist if all the black guys team up. So the Viking Raiders.
WWE, racism is kind of their MO.
I know, that's true. You know the funny thing, Ray DeVito comes in and whenever he's here, like there's a black wrestler getting beat up by a white guy. He's like, that would never happen in real life. Like the white guy would get
By the way, was MVP wearing a Punisher skull?
Yeah, Punisher. Yeah,
what was Punisher's real name?
Frank Castle.
What was he, like, the champion or Intercontinental champion?
Yeah, he was the 6-time European champion. I can't believe the shit I deal with. And I'm not even involved in comedy anymore. And they just come to me and just spew nonsense on my fucking ear. Okay. No, but you should make up with Rachel Jones. Yeah, I'll get right on that.
Oh man. This, what do you call it? By the way, next week on Raw, next Monday,
bowling.
Seth Rollins versus Aleister Black, bowling competition between Street Profits and Viking Raiders, and Rey Mysterio retirement ceremony. What did you think about this What did you think about this Raw?
That's bad. It was fine. I mean, it wasn't the worst thing. You said you'd be super negative, and then you were kind of positive. I mean, the segments that were bad were astonishingly bad, but they had some good action, and the longest match was the best match, so good for them.
I thought this was a fun Raw, but we had that golfing segment,
which was brutal.
That golf segment brought the grade down brought the show down by 3 grades.
And
so
I'm also glad that Apollo
terrible show.
Crews got the win.
Yeah, this is a terrible show, unfortunately. I'm gonna have to say it's a terrible
Just
show.
because
just,
of that, yeah, the
just
golf.
because of that one segment, it's a terrible show.
The golf segment is fucking brutal.
Mm-hmm.
That you really, guys. I mean, I don't know. You might be afraid of your jobs. Just fucking put your foot down. Your careers are ending because of these segments.
I mean, we did get a title change, and we got one really, really good match. But other than that,
but I'm talking about like the Street Profit shit. They gotta put their foot down. This is fucking, it's disgusting. It's really makes me sick. It makes me ashamed to be a human being.
Yep. So that was it. That was Raw.
That's it for Raw. Tomorrow night we are going to be back with the NWA Carnyland, and they promise to be even crazier, which means probably just cornier, not crazier. Carnyland tomorrow, and then AWA Dark, which hopefully is not 17 hours like the last few weeks.
I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be like an hour and a half again.
And then I'm cutting it off for Impact, and then Impact. We're gonna be doing the post show. I know not a lot of people watch Impact, but fuck you. We're doing a post show. If JD from New York, this fucking little herb, can get like 20,000 views and Alexa Bliss's attention on his shitty fucking AEW show, we can get 12 views on our Impact review show, right?
Mm-hmm. That's
all
true.
right.
We can.
We can't or we can?
We can.
We can. Yeah. Fuck you, JD from New York.
Yeah.
Fucking shit on Alexa Bliss.
JD. Yeah.
You know, she's fucking better than Charlotte Flair at this point. All right, guys, that's our time. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow.
See ya.